that we look at the lessons we can learn. And the major thing that happened to this country on 9/11 is people pulled together and said, we will not wait for government to fix our problems. It's up to us, folks. It's up to us now. And even a few weeks ago, when the airplane had a problem with a pilot who was losing his sensibility, and the passenger said, we're not going to let him go crazy on our airplane, never again. So I wanted to tell you, I've been traveling the state all week. I haven't been in my bed since Tuesday night, and I'm really explaining the story, and people are getting it, because deep down inside, Missourians are hungry and eager for somebody with a message of freedom. We have the right answers. But 2 days ago, I was in Kirksville, northern Missouri, way up near Iowa. And actually, the next biggest town to where I was is Quincy, Illinois. And one of my constituents told me a very sad story that in the Quincy school district, the school children are no longer allowed to say under God in the pledge. They have to say one nation, indivisible. Now folks, that's child abuse. And that's un-American, because this country was premised on the biblical principles of us being one nation under God. And if you can't say the pledge like that, you can't say the pledge. It's time for us to look at what we're doing. And if that school district is not going to let their children say the pledge, then they shouldn't get our government funding. Now, I just want to ask, are there any atheists in the audience? I've not seen anybody raise their hands, so I'll speak to the atheists who aren't here. Why do you hate God so much if he doesn't exist? You know, and to the folks who do believe in God, a lot of the failure happening in this country is because the churches are afraid to talk about politics.
Amen. Amen.
And if there are any church people here, make sure you invite me to come and speak in your church, because that's my freedom of speech and that's our freedom of speech. And if we don't tell the story, we will never be able to set the record straight. We are not going to let them silence all the church people. The reason a lot of Christian folks don't want to get involved in politics is because they say, I just want to worship God and evangelize and leave it up to the rest of the politicians to fix it. Well, what they don't understand is if we don't fix our government, you're not going to be allowed to worship or evangelize anymore. They're stripping us of our rights. I do want to tell you, in case some of you didn't hear me speak last night, or last time, I was mentioned on the Keith Olbermann show 4 times as being the worst person in the world. Thank you. And one time I was even worse than Ann Coulter. But we need to call the church to be the church. We need to call the citizens to be the citizens. We need to be brave and tough and strong and do what's right and do what we can, because our country's in trouble. It's time to get mobilized. So when I'm your lieutenant governor, what you're going to see is us raise the iron shade on the backroom deals. And we're going to tell the truth. We're going to explain to people what's happening, and you're going to feel part of your government again. The biggest problem we have is people who don't know what's happening, and then once they know, they don't care. I know those who are here to set the record straight love your country, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't. And yet, for those who don't want to do anything, I want to inspire and motivate you, because that's what's dragging us down. And we were talking, Cliff sent out the newsletter with the question, is the Tea Party dead? And the answer to that is, first of all, you're proving it's not. But secondly, caused by other tea parties, not yours, other tea parties that sat around and complained, but then they never did anything. They would hold a rally, and then they'd go home and feel bad that we've got lousy government. The positive message is you don't have to live like that anymore. You can vote for good people, and that's why I'm running on the Constitution Party ticket, because the good people are all getting wiped out in the August primaries. And by the time we get up to November, you don't have any good choices. You get once the son of perdition or twice the son of perdition. So I've got an answer to you. If you're tired of voting for the lesser of two evils, why are you voting for evil? We're ready. Now, I'm going to close with a little poem that I want to inspire you with. How many of you have heard the poem Footprints in the Sand? Okay, this is not that poem. One night I had a wondrous dream. One set of footprints there was seen, the footprints of my precious Lord, but mine were not along the shore. But then some strange prints appeared. I asked my Lord, what have we here? Those prints are large and round and neat, but Lord, they are too big for feet. My child, he said in somber tones, for miles I carried you alone. I challenged you to walk in faith, but you refused and made me wait. You disobeyed, you would not grow. The walk of faith you would not know. So I got tired, I got fed up, and there I dropped you on your butt. Because in life there comes a time when one must fight and one must climb. When one must rise and take a stand or leave their butt prints in the sand. Thank you. Thank you, Cliff.
I can't top that. How you doing?
Thank
Excellent.
This is awesome. You have a great time.